This is Augustus Grigori coming in with another episode. As you can see, I'm in my condo as we speak, and reason being it's really hot outside, and I've been wanting to make a video for quite some time now. It's just been way too hot, and I decided, you know what, screw it. Let's make a video indoors for once. I don't know if this is going to be a usual thing, a regular thing, but I'm going to try to be as brief as possible with this one and tell you a little bit about how I channel sigils and show you a recent sigil that I channeled a few days ago, or I guess a week ago. So I channeled a sigil of Belphegor on the 20th, according to my little record over here. And I did this mainly because I was trying to improve on my previous sigil of Belphegor that I channeled back on VK Jehanum's website. You can go on his page and take a look at it. It's still very effective. You can still use it. But this is a more improved sigil to call on Belphegor if you plan to evoke them onto the physical plane if you want, or invoke them, or whatever it is. Give this a try. Tell me how you feel about this, because I want the people who see my content actually test it out, because I want to see what it does for you. I've noticed that there's a lot of people who have found significant results when it came to the Mammon sigil, and I've seen people. I actually had one person who paid off like a quarter of their mortgage after evoking Mammon at one point with the sigil that I provided. And I'm already getting some feedback from people who have seen this first before I uploaded this video, and they've said that they've felt some things from this, and physical symptoms, you name it. So give it a try. Tell me what you think. I want you all to know that I'm very keen on hearing what you have to say. The content that I want to churn out, I do want it to be effective. I do want it to be good, and so constructive criticism is really important, if anything. So I'll give you guys a little bit of a brief introduction as to who Belphegor is, because I'm not going to go too deep into it. This is not necessarily a Belphegor episode, but I do want to talk about it. So Belphegor is a demon that I honestly don't think gets a lot of attention, or does, depending on who you are. But I really don't see Belphegor much of anywhere, except for maybe in the book of Citra Akra. And that's if you're really going for some Klipothic magic. I'm going for something a little bit more eclectic, where I focus more on Goetic style sigils, mainly because people are very familiar with the Goetia, and I want this to be somewhat universal. I don't want there to be hoops for people to jump through when they work with my sigils. So this is the sigil of Belphegor. When you work with Belphegor, you can work with them for a number of things. You could work with Belphegor for manifesting riches, specifically riches that are more short-term, something that is more cunning, like, say for example, if you're gonna scalp some hype products and whatnot, or if you're trying to do something that's gonna make you some quick money, you would call on Belphegor for that. Not really something you would do for, let's say, long-term wealth. Other things that you would talk to Belphegor for is thinking ingeniously. If you want to learn how to think on your feet, think of incredible, really incredible concepts, and expand the way how you process things, I guess, mentally, or conceptualize things mentally, you can contact Belphegor for that. And if you are looking to work on your male sexuality, you can also talk to Belphegor. And that is not restricted to just, the male gender. If you are non-binary, if you are trans, whatever it is that you identify as, you can work with Belphegor. So have fun with it. You're gonna have a great time. I think Belphegor is a really great spirit to work with. yeah, here's Belphegor Sigil. I hope you enjoy it, and you can take a screenshot of this if you need to, or I do plan to upload a more clear picture of this sigil online. Might be in the description. Take a look in the description. If it's not there, I do plan to upload it very soon, either on a blog or something. Please feel free, you know, just because this is on my video and I do claim that I'm the first one to channel this, you are more than welcome to save it, post it on your blog. If you want to put it on a mug, you know, go for it. Do whatever you want. You know, my work is here for all of you. My work is here for everyone to use freely and to help, I guess, humankind evolve in more ways than one. So I want to talk about sigil channeling specifically because this is something that I take a lot of pride in. This is something that I really like doing. Sigil channeling for me, I go for a specific style. I go for a style, and I do sigil channeling for the reason, for the only reason, which is contributing to other occultists. I want to help other occultists contact and be able to evoke the spirits that they're after more efficiently. A lot of the times, if you are exploring beyond, let's say, a grimoire tradition, or you are, you know, doing some Google searches, I notice there's a lot of spirits out there that are, you know, their sigils are either in some very obscure grimoire, or you have to do a lot of digging, or let's just say it just doesn't even exist, and so people are just going with whatever they can. I want to be able to kind of bridge that gap where everyone has, there's at least a sigil in which a spirit can be contacted from. I don't plan on just doing specifically demons, quote unquote, or I do plan to do like the Jedi. I do plan to do some angels at one point. I want to do some gods and goddesses from specific pantheons, if that's something that you viewers are interested in. But I'm going to start with something a little bit more familiar, spirits that are being contacted more often, something that's more familiar to the Goetia. If you are going beyond the regular 72, I'm going to offer you guys more sigils for you to use outside of the 72. Sigil channeling, let's talk about it. When I sigil channel, I tend to get, like, let's say, I don't want to say it's a hit or miss for my sigil channeling, but I take my sigil channeling very seriously. I guess you could say I'm a perfectionist when it comes to trying to get the sigil right. So sometimes it'll take me a number of days for me to channel one sigil. And the reason being is because I don't want to accidentally introduce a trickster spirit or an imposter coming through while you're using this sigil. So I want to make sure that you're getting exactly who I told you that you'd be evoking right over here. And I just really want to put that out there. I don't know how to explain how I do it, because it's like a feeling. You just know it. You see it in your mind. When you're contacting these entities specifically to channel a sigil, a lot of the times their sigil or the sigil that they want to show you will show up in your mind. And I guess my goal is to capture it either on paper or whatever it is, and try to get it as accurate as possible, because the mind itself can be very malleable. You know, sometimes you can think of one thing and then your own personal biases, your own subconscious may try to warp that image. It's like, let me give you a really good example. If I could give you I could grant you any wish. Now, when you make that wish, the only thing you have to do is you can't think of camels, whatever you do, otherwise it won't come true. Well, see, now the problem is you're trying to make a wish, but you can't help but think about camels, and subconsciously you're thinking about camels now. That's how I feel sometimes when it comes to channeling a sigil. So sometimes I'll channel sigil, and sometimes my mind will veer off and try to manifest something else. Sometimes the sigil will look too familiar. I had a lot of issues channeling the sigil because if you can see the shape, it looks really similar to that of Asmodeus, and it drove me absolutely nuts because it kept morphing in my mind to the shape of Asmodeus, and getting it to the actual design that was intended took me roughly about like 2-3 hours just to get, and it was so frustrating, but I managed to get it on a piece of paper, and oh my gosh, that was so frustrating. Channeling a sigil, some people are just naturally really good at it. I don't know if I would say I'm a natural myself, but I would say that I have some sort of good understanding of it, and I'd like to say I would say as humbly as I can say it, I think I'm pretty good at art. I think I'm good at drawing, and I can draw characters no problem if I really wanted to, and I think that does play a little bit of a role into making these sorts of sigil designs, and I feel like it's a great asset when it comes to channeling these things. But sigil channeling, oh my god, how many times am I going to say it? Take a shot every time I say sigil channeling. Sigil channeling is something that I really take a lot of pride in, and I do plan on creating a book. I want to do the following. I want to make a book of sigils in which something like this, the sigil of Mammon, some future sigils out there, are going to be put into a book. And so instead of having to go through tons and tons and tons of grimoires, you can go through this one book and then look for it in the index, and boom, there you go. You have the sigil right there, and you can use it for whatever purpose you need to do it. That's what I plan to do with this, I guess, future plan of mine. And then eventually I will go down a little further, whereas I have plans with a specific spirit where I'll be making a sigil of them, and sigils of their legions and specific servants, etc., that those that are familiar with said spirit will work with. Now, the plans for that are, I don't know, to be determined, to be announced, but that is the plan that I plan to do sometime in the near future. But first, I need to start channeling some more sigils for each and every one of you. Now, I don't necessarily have any plan just yet, but if there are any suggestions, please do tell me, because I want to make sure that I am channeling essentially what is in demand, what people want / need. I do have some plans to channel a sigil of Sorath eventually. I do have some plans to channel some sigils of other spirits and other entities. I have channeled this specific angel for many, like I'd say like many months, up to like a few years now, and I've yet to really find an effective sigil for channeling this angel. It's the angel Sahakiel, and I'm going to channel a sigil for those who are interested in working with the angel Sahakiel. Aside from that, that's pretty much it. This is pretty much my update. I'm here to just tell you a little bit about how I do my sigil channeling, and I want to show you guys this this sigil over here. Oh yeah, another plan. I do plan on doing a more proper Leviathan sigil for those who want something like that. So Leviathan, Sorath, I really can't think of the other ones on the top of my head, but those are the two that I do plan on doing very, very soon. And keep your eyes peeled and stay tuned for that. Next, last thing that I want to talk about today is artificial intelligence. Now, I've been playing around with this app that OpenAI has been working on, and it's called DALL-E. You know, a joke for people who understand. You know, Salvatore Dali, but instead of DALL-E, it's DALL-E, like Wall-E. And I really like this app because you can feed it any prompt, and this app will essentially paint or create an image for you based on that prompt. You can ask it for a digital photo, digital art. You can ask it to paint something for you in the style of an artist, whether it's an artist of today, a Renaissance artist, a comic book illustrator, like you name it. You can probably do it. You can even do photographs of really abstract things. I've been onto this DALL-E Reddit for like a couple of months now, and I think it's absolutely genius what some of these people are generating. Some of the stuff they're making are absolutely hilarious. But I've actually been fooling around with this DALL-E stuff to work with demons specifically, especially when it comes to getting AI to create images of these spirits, demons, and angels. I want to work with them through utilizing AI because I feel like it'll kind of solidify their presence on this physical plane, and what better tool than to use artificial intelligence, this brand new thing that is starting to really, it's really blowing my mind. And the fact that artificial intelligence is starting to become such a mainstream thing these days it's pretty mind-blowing. Yeah, artificial intelligence. I also plan to do things like pathworking, making my pathworking much easier through artificial intelligence, because pathworking requires you to visualize a lot of images in order to talk to the specific spirit in mind. I believe that, you know, when you have an image of that said pathworking, it makes the whole process so much easier. And so I've been utilizing DALL-E as much as possible. You can go on Reddit, look for me, just Augustus Grigori, and take a look and see what I have created on DALL-E. I have way more out there. I'm taking requests, and if you need any help with anything regarding working with AI in the occult, just pop me a question into the comments down below, and let's talk about it. Anyways, aside from that, I know this is really disorganized. This whole my videos as of late. It's what, like 2-3 videos now. I do plan on making things a little bit more structured and scripted, because I don't want to leave you guys hanging with me saying ums and uhs every few minutes and saying the same thing over and over again. I don't want to bore you with those kinds of extra trimmings. So prepare yourself for some future videos where things are a little bit more structured. I just wanted to shove out this video because it's just been a while. I really want to share you guys this sigil. I want to share with you my process. I want to share with you what I've been doing. I eventually want to create something even bigger. Please stay tuned. I'm really excited for this, and I'm going to do some crazy shit with some magic very soon. Just stay tuned. All right, this is Augustus Grigori signing out. You guys have a wonderful day. If you're going through like a heat wave right now, wherever you are, please stay out of the sun, wear your sunscreen, wear your SPF, drink plenty of water, stay cool, and please take care of yourselves, because it absolutely sucks that things like heat waves are actually killing people, and it's really sad. I've actually known someone who lost their life due to this recent heat wave, and it's awful. Anyways, please take care of yourselves. This is Augustus Grigori signing out, and enjoy the sigil. Boop.